Welcome to the intro for this React stream. We're going to be watching some videos today. Most of these come from my React channel on Discord. And yeah, true crime, some not true crime. Depends on which one you clicked on. If you're watching this on YouTube, it means you missed the Twitch stream. That's okay. You can follow the Twitch and get to the next one. Or if you're following and watching on Twitch right now, you should be able to go sub to the YouTube channel right now. Let's do it. Let's watch a dreading video. Can we watch something happy? Hell no. We're gonna watch somebody be fucking stupid. We're gonna watch a dreading video called Cop Accidentally Admits to Everything. We watched a dreading video yesterday. Had a bunch of time, had a good time listening to his commentary on it. And yeah.
We've all heard the saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. The phrase is meant to make anyone listening weary of power, and weary of the people who seem to desperately crave it. It tells the listener that power itself is a poison, that it infects otherwise decent people, transforming them into tyrants and predators. But personally, I've always found that saying to almost give the perpetrators an escape route of sorts. It wasn't them who put profits over the public's health and safety, but the broader concept of power. They were just nice, normal people who were ultimately corrupted, but ultimately not at fault. However, in my opinion, the truth is far darker and far less convenient. That being that power does not corrupt, it reveals. When a person gains power, the moral leash that once held their impulses in check begins to loosen. Not because power changes them, but because it frees them to act as they truly are.
Yeah. I mean, great insight. It's, morality can become a social barrier for people. It's interesting. You'll see this with streamers. You'll see streamers completely 180 the second that they get, you know, that little spark. And we talked about this yesterday. Like I'm trying to do my best to really love and appreciate every little bit that I'm given at this job for however long you guys allow me to do it. And it's fascinating how many people switch it up or are very just brutal people the second they're allowed to be.
But if they never had any nefarious impulses, they stay largely unchanged. They have the same moral character that they've always had, just with a bit more money and the ability to effect real lasting action. Unfortunately for us, though, they aren't nearly as motivated to seek out power as others. This is especially true in the case of predators. Many of them don't stumble into positions of influence or power by accident. They deliberately seek them out because they understand that that position of power can act as a shield. A teacher, a deputy, a priest, a CEO, a director, these are roles that come pre-packaged with trust and reverence, with built-in hierarchies that make it difficult for someone to come forward without immediately being met with skepticism. And if that fact is obvious to us as well as the general public, it's probably just as obvious to those who seek power for their own selfish reasons. And that is especially true in today's case. Welcome back to another episode of Dreading, or if this is your first time here, welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing the interrogation footage of Robert Strand, the sheriff's deputy who was caught with a significant amount of child sexual abuse material on his electronic devices. The footage associated with this case was made public by the channel The Couch Detectives here on YouTube, and the original upload will be left in the description box down below, should you prefer to watch the footage without our commentary. Channels like theirs go through the process of putting Freedom of Information Act requests in, which can be a long and obnoxious process. But without them, channels like ours would not exist. So if you can support them, we highly encourage you to. So, with all of that said, let us begin.
Today's case brings us to Sandoval County, New Mexico. On May 24, 2022, an internal investigation began on a deputy with the Sandoval County Sheriff's Office when a report came in from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. One of their deputies was suspected of having some very, very disturbing images and videos on their electronic devices. That deputy is 39 years old at the time, Robert Strand, a deputy that was employed with the agency since 2014. Strand, who had been charged with the DWI twice since 2006, the latest one in 2012 being dismissed by prosecutors. I wonder how that works. But I digress.
Shocker.
The New Mexico Attorney General's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force received several tips from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that someone in New Mexico was downloading explicit material.
A little bit, okay.
All said and done, 92 images and GIFs were obtained from electronic devices owned by Strand, with the victims ranging from under 1 to 13 years of age. Just disgusting. I think we get the picture here. This law enforcement officer is an absolute piece of... I'm sure you can fill in the blank yourself here. This is the full police interrogation of Officer Robert Strand of the Sandoval County, New Mexico Sheriff's Office. Stay tuned to the end for the most up-to-date information on this case.
$13 to under 1? I mean, like, by all means, none of that threshold is okay. But, like, under 1? That's like an amoeba. This guy's getting the shit rocked out of it in jail. I can guarantee it. Criminals hate nothing worse than a pedophile.
Hey, Special Agent Owen Pena, Special Agent in Charge Clarence Gibson.
Yes, sir.
I have a search warrant for your residence.
Okay.
I have a search warrant for any electronic device that's on your person.
Okay.
So you need to turn over any cell phone you have. Is this the only cell phone?
Yeah.
Is this personal, or which one's personal? Which
Personal.
One's work?
Work.
Okay.
Something that stands out immediately is Robert's willingness to hand over his electronic devices without hesitation. He works in law enforcement. He knows the implications. He knows that an investigator doesn't ask for your phone unless they are looking for something serious. He also knows that he has over 100 pieces of CSAM on those devices. And yet, when asked to hand them over, he immediately complies without doing so much as asking why. From the outside, it would appear that he has absolutely no preservation instincts, that he is simply an idiot, which is partially true. We cannot emphasize enough how objectively stupid these men and women are. But, as the couch detectives have already established, this isn't Robert's first run-in with the law. Robert has been shielded by power for so long that he no longer perceives risk in the way most people do. Years of working behind the badge, of being part of the system rather than subject to it, have warped his understanding of accountability. He's been pulled over multiple times for DUIs and walked away nearly untouched. Not because of luck, but because of a structural camaraderie that rewards familiarity over justice. And that taught him a very valuable lesson. That being, I am untouchable because I am a cop. He's gambling on the same unspoken fraternity that saved him before. A quiet understanding among officers that one of our own deserves leniency. The people asking to search his phone and electronics are his peers. They deal with this.
I don't think a whole lot of people are lenient about pedophilia. Nor should they be. I think most people that are probably pedophiles.
Same kind of scumbags every day, and they're more likely to be on his side because of that. There's a built-in sense of camaraderie, and he's well aware that that will go away should he ask for a lawyer or push back against the officer. He wants to present himself as kind and compliant in the hopes that the investigators don't follow up with their leads. That if he presents himself as a good enough guy, that they will decide to not thoroughly look through his devices and let him off with yet another warning.
I'm going to ask you if you want to sit down and talk with us about why we have a search warrant for your residence. This is up to you. It's totally up to you. I'm not going to, we can't force you to speak with us. Yeah. If you want to speak with us, we'll go behind the door here, and me and Special Agent Gibson we'll talk with you. All right, come on in. Like I said, we'll go behind the door so no one else can.
One of the things that the media has really instilled in the general public is the fact that by asking for a lawyer or not immediately consenting to talking to the police, you are somehow admitting guilt. Yep. But that is far from the case.
It has been absolutely belted into people's minds that requesting legal representation is negative. And that is cop propaganda. Because the police are unable to do much when legal representation shows up, because almost like having somebody who's able to navigate that field for you in the moments that you're ignorant is helpful. So get a lawyer, guys. Yeah.
Assuming you are innocent, it's always in your best interest to have someone who really knows the law on your side. It doesn't matter how well you think that you know the law,
I love
or
this
how much
channel.
smarter you think you are than the police. A lawyer ultimately is going to keep you from doing and saying stupid things that are not in your best interest.
God, this
In an
channel's awesome.
interrogation room, most people are going to feel emotional and psychologically vulnerable. The interviewer is going to be subtly applying more and more pressure onto you, making you feel trapped, confused, and like you're being entirely misunderstood. And because you were so close to the situation, you aren't going to be able to properly think things through. You would assume that Robert, a deputy sheriff, who's been working in law enforcement for years, would know that when offered to go into an interrogation room and talk about what this is all about, he wouldn't consent and would ask for legal counsel. But he doesn't. He wants to keep things with these officers cordial. He wants them to see him as part of the same
think
fraternity,
somebody
and he knows that they aren't going to be as kind towards him if he makes their lives a bit more difficult. But let's continue.
Better, but
Just going out to see.
remember cartoons depicting lawyers as bad and heartless people? I wonder if they did that to harm people's idea of legal help. Would you be shocked to learn that media constantly portrays cops as angelic and heroic because they want people to trust cops no matter what situation the cops put them in?
Right there for me.
Paw Patrol is propaganda. Paw Patrol is propaganda. Fuck you, Chase. Get off my case.
So due to the fact you know this is an interview, okay? I'm gonna tell you what I do, okay? I do internet crimes against children, okay? There's been some reports of some incidents of some activity coming from basically your electronic device in your possession, and was reported to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I'm just here to get your side of the story. I'm not here to pass any.
What an awful job to do, bro.
So, first of all,
so that means Utopia is cop propaganda? You mean the movie where the guy who's like a criminal all of his life becomes a cop because he wants to be a good guy? Yeah, it is. Zootopia is propaganda, guys, no matter how hot Judy Hopps is. You have eyes, don't look at us like that.
Like everything else we have to do is follow your advisement of rights, okay?
The interviewer here is doing a fantastic job right out of the gate. First, he frames taking Robert into a private room for an interview as being a service that they are doing for him. It's not that they are taking him in for questioning or talking to him about his misdeeds. Rather, they want to talk to him privately so his coworkers don't get the wrong idea. But of course, the irony here is striking. Robert isn't being protected from rumors. He's being investigated for something infinitely worse than gossip. Any, quote, rumors his coworkers might spread would pale in comparison to the reality of his alleged crimes. Yet, by framing the meeting as a measure to protect him, the interviewer gives Robert a false sense of safety, one that hopefully would encourage him to talk freely. Then, when he is eventually told why these officers are wanting to speak to him, the interviewer maintains that they aren't there to pass judgment, rather to get his side. To most people, the idea of sitting across
Disarming.
from someone accused of consuming the sexual torture of children without showing revulsion is unthinkable. But the interviewer knows something fundamental about human behavior.
Tough job.
The guilty crave understanding
Definitely a
as
tough
much,
job
if
to
not
be a
more, than
part of
anyone
this.
else. When someone commits an act that violates every social and moral code, they spend enormous psychological energy rationalizing it. They convince themselves that they are just misunderstood, that their actions are, quote, not as bad as others
Cognitive
might think,
dissonance.
or that their personal history justifies their actions. So, hey, I can do whatever I want. They aren't like other predators, because when they exploit children, it's somehow different.
People do like using their trauma. Yeah.
So, when an authority figure presents themselves
Classic.
as open-minded, as someone who just wants to understand, it validates
Why
that
the cycle
delusion.
always
That is something
circles.
that John Douglas has talked about in many of his books, where he discussed talking to serial murderers and predators. Most of the time, if they feel like they're talking to, quote, good lawmen,
they'll blame their
unquote,
mom,
they would
blame-
clam up. But if they got the sense that the person sitting across the table from them wasn't judging them outright, they would open up more.
I'm going to give you a page to go along
Serial
with it.
killers will blame their mom, blame what they grew up with, blame what they saw early in their life, blame what they went through earlier in their life. They'll blame everything except themselves for literal murder.
All right? But first of all, what's your full name, sir?
Robert Strand, STRAND.
Your address, sir?
Bernalillo, New Mexico, 87004.
Okay. And
What they ate earlier.
what's your phone number, sir?
505.
Yeah, I got the pizza made me queasy, so I shot it.
And the time now is 9:13.
Yes, sir.
Why'd they bleep the address? I mean, I doubt he lives there
So
now.
again, before we ask you any questions, you have to understand your
To be
rights.
fair, this was in
Okay, just
22.
All right. So, like I said, we do have a search warrant for your residence. Before we go any further, is there anyone currently at your house? Okay. We don't want to go breaking down your doors. Do you have a key to your house? Can you give us that key so we don't break in?
Yeah.
Don't cut. I've been by your house.
Right.
So I understand there's a gate
Yes.
key. We just don't want to wreck
You're fine.
any of your stuff.
You're fine.
Because like I said, we're not here to and that's the house key?
Yes.
What about the gate? Is the gate locked?
No.
What about you have one dog or
2 dogs.
it's two dogs? And they're on that opposite side, so,
Yeah.
okay, we just want to make sure. Can you,
Yes. So, do I have a right to know who's reporting me for what?
yes, I'm going to get into that right now. We're going to get into that. And we had to
no.
get past this
You
part
do not.
before we can get to
Okay.
why we're exactly. All right.
There's this thing called
When the
retaliation.
reason why Robert was being questioned was initially brought up, he showed no outward signs of shock or distress. He didn't deny the claims against him. He didn't appear surprised that the allegations had been levied at him. He just sat there, nodding along with his mouth slightly agape. His reaction or lack thereof is fairly uncommon, especially given what he knows of the charges. Put yourself in his shoes, but let's say you're completely innocent.
I'd be pretty
You go into
disgusted.
work one day, and you're brought into a small room with 2 officers who say that they were there to talk to you because they have reason to believe that you have child sex abuse material on your phone or electronics. They've been to your home, so much so that they know you have a dog and a gate, and from their tone alone, you understand that you're being accused of something very, very serious.
That's pretty
Ordinarily,
crazy.
when someone is innocent and is being accused of something like this, the human nervous system revolts. Heart rate
I'd be
spikes,
pretty
pupils
disgusted,
dilate,
yeah.
adrenaline floods the body. This is the biological reflex of self-preservation and usually elicits the flight.
If something's broken by the police and they have a warrant, but the thing is unrelated to the warrant, could you sue? No. You sue them for what? Damages? I mean, you can't. Okay, when you sue somebody for damages, you have to sue them for like the monetary amount that damage is. So like they break your vase, that's $20 off of Amazon. You can only go so far for a broken vase. Does that make sense? You can't be like, you broke my $5 flower pot. You owe me $1 million. Police department. The jury in your case is going to be like, no.
Response. The normal reaction to receiving this information would be anger or indignation. They are investigating you for one of the worst crimes known to man, something that you are completely innocent of, and are doing so at your place of work. You would be livid, demanding to know who sent them, or why this is happening, and challenging their authority. But not Robert. Robert allowed the accusation to roll over him like a wave in the ocean, and is only now seeking some kind of clarity. He asks if he can know where the allegation is coming from, likely because he wanted to try and discredit it. He's not seeking to clear his name. He's searching for an angle. If he can trace the accusation to a source that he can discredit, all the better.
Maybe
a bitter
if I
ex,
call the
a
source a
disgruntled arrestee,
pedophile.
a vindictive coworker, it doesn't necessarily matter to him. His goal is to simply reframe the entire situation as a personal vendetta. That way he can potentially avoid the criminal investigation. It's a tactic as old as guilt itself. If you can't deny the act, you deny the accuser.
All 4 dogs are
so
here.
let's see where these claims originate.
Finley's right there. Lucy's right here. Birdie's down here, and Boomer's just off camera.
So,
where's this other camera? Where are we
there's
going?
a thing called the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So what happened was some images and some GIFs were uploaded through the backup service. It's called Synchronos, is the backup service for like Verizon and stuff like that. Currently, your cell phone is through your Verizon. So when you first sign up for Verizon, you get this 3-month backup service for free. What happened was, when you had your cell phone and you had that service, everything that you had on your phone got backed up. Okay. By federal law, all providers, all what they call ESPs or electronic service providers, are required by federal law that if they see anything that meets the state criteria or meets the criteria for or looks like child for your child use materials, they have to report it to the National Center for Mixed Exploit. So at that point, there was 5, and so what happens when the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children gets it, these reports, they have to look at, okay, where does the cell phone come back to, who's connected to the cell phone, what emails, and before we go any further, do you have any email addresses?
Voices in the wind.
Pausing here to state that the origins of the allegations could not be any worse for Robert. Again, he was likely hoping that they came from a bitter ex or an unhappy criminal who he locked up.
Nah,
that
your
way
phone
he could
company
commiserate
snitched,
with
bro.
the interviewer. They both work in law enforcement. They both know how crazy people can be. So maybe he can just overlook the claims and let him walk. However, the claims are coming from a third-party, completely unbiased person who was forced to report him for images he unknowingly uploaded to his phone's backup service. He can't claim malice or bias, and the facts against him
my phone
are rock
company's
solid in a
trying
way
to cancel
that
me.
most cases are not.
My phone company's trying to Gen Z me, bruh.
So I will tell you, that is the email that was attached to these, and this was also the same phone number that was attached to all those reports going forward. So, so it captures a lot of information. So, like if you log in your phone with your email or whatever, it's going to catch that, and all that stuff gets reported up. In this case, there was 5 separate times.
My phone company's woke. They're trying to get me.
Between January of 2021.
I don't even know what a cloud is.
March, sometime in March, like March 22nd.
Wouldn't even know how to find a cloud, really.
Is when we got the reports.
Folks, I don't even think clouds are real.
The backup happened. Did you get that? Did you get a new phone around January of 2021?
I think so. I think that's when I bought it. I'm not sure.
Is it this current phone or is it a different phone?
It's this one.
Okay. So,
right, store the extremely heinous material on your phone.
And this one is your personal, correct?
The phone you carry everywhere.
What's the password on this?
And ping to everything. What a genius.
It's not biometrics or anything, just the pen.
What a smart guy. We've got Sherlock in the courtroom here.
So when all these images, so throughout the full 5 cyber tips, there was 141 images. And some of them are GIFs. Do you know what a GIF is? It's like a little meme type thing where there's like a short video type thing that you generally don't sound.
It hurts.
So out of those 141,
It hurts that he's saying GIF.
almost all of them were child pornography. So then I did a search warrant,
Just
2
ridiculously
synchronous,
fucking gross.
and they gave me pretty much everything that was backed up. And in that backup was, pictures of you, some videos of you that weren't child materials, and like your guide licenses and stuff like that.
There's just
PDFs and
videos
stuff like that,
of him
text messages,
between the
stuff
pictures.
like that. So I'm just here to find out how those images were on your, because we know they were on your phone because they got backed up. How they got to your phone, okay? And I'm just here just to get your side. I'm not.
Me with my robbery plan in my photo gallery between pictures of my daughter. Fucking what?
Not here to cast any.
Are you stupid?
I'm not a judge, and I'm not a jury. I'm just here to get your side of the story. How did this happen? Make me understand is how this happened.
Well, there's probably nothing I can say that's going to make you understand.
This is probably the most honest, accurate statement that we've ever heard from a predator. Because he's right. There's not a thing he can say that will make any rational adult understand what he has done, because there's no validating his actions. But it's unlikely that that is what he really means. Talking about something that you really should feel shame about is hard. It's embarrassing and often leaves you feeling vulnerable. Robert just generally does not want to talk about this, even though he has agreed to the interview. However, the goal of the interview is to get as much information as possible. That way the case against him can be as rock solid as possible. It's enough that they have the direct evidence of images on his phone, alongside pictures of him at home and at work. But if something were to happen to that evidence, and the courts were forced to throw it out, his statements here would be all they had to stand on. It's entirely up to the interviewer to keep Robert talking, and to feel as if he has some way out.
Yeah, because there's always a possibility of the process in which the evidence was gathered was bad, or the chain of custody got messed up, etc. And his defense attorney can argue the evidence get thrown out. So this is also kind of like the redundancy for evidence is also sort of a backup technique for those sorts of reasons. Because like, once again, like he said, if something happens to this evidence, it's important to have more. A preponderance of evidence is usually the requirement of guilt, right? Yep. Okay. That was random. Yeah, so it's a great point to make. Yeah, they tend to but it's good for them to have more to show. Because like, once again, they said they went to his house. They said they know he has dogs, which is like a red flag immediately if you're suspicious. They have the images. They have images of him at home and here. Between the images, like, they have him red-handed, objectively. But like I said, there's always the possibility of something going wrong enough to where the evidence, it gets tainted, either from chain of custody or the way it was possessed or the way it was maintained, etc. There's a bunch of stuff that can make this evidence get thrown out. So having backup evidence is always a plus in terms of convictions, I guess, if that's the objective.
Well, let's just I'll give you a little bit about my background.
I'm gonna eat my food.
Because I've been doing these now since 2009, and I'm not here, and I've heard every different kind of this and that, and I'm not here. All I want is, and to be honest, I'm going to be totally straight with you,
and I'm not
totally
here.
Straight with me, and I think that's just a respect thing.
What did he mean?
You know, I mean, that's the same thing that I've always respected.
I'm not here.
Gibson, in charge of Gibson, because he's always been straight with me, and I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not here to. I'm just here to figure out how that happened, and to also go further and make sure that and ultimately to make sure there's no child that you're telling me you're home alone, so that there's no one else at your house, so that makes me feel a little bit more easier that there's no one there.
Right.
But we are going to talk about, do you have contact with children and stuff like that? I understand you have a brother who has a niece and stuff like that, but we'll get to that here in a minute. I just want to hear your side of how this happened.
I don't really know.
I'm sure.
Let's just go. So how did you first come in knowledge of these images that were out there, and how did they get to your phone?
Pretty much I was downloading,
Okay.
and then
And when you say let's just break it into
just everything.
Adult or child.
Adult.
Okay.
And
So that's how it started.
Yeah.
Okay. And then
They didn't give me a
then what
fork.
happened? Did you just found it and then got an interest in it?
A little bit,
Okay.
but then everything's deleted. So
Okay.
Go full screen. Well, the issue is half the video's gone. So, like, also, I don't know. Like, I can't really get it to look that good without me being in the way of the video, and the last thing I want to do is be in the way of the video. You know what I mean?
In less than 20 minutes of talking, the interviewer has gotten Robert to admit to downloading, then later re-uploading to his phone's backup, CSAM. There was no kicking and screaming. There was little back and forth.
Crazy.
He just stated it outright the moment it became obvious to him that the evidence against him was rock solid.
Give me like 1 minute. I'm gonna go grab a
So
fork.
do you know
but
when
I'll
you
let
got
this.
this phone exactly?
I don't.
Okay. And where did you get that phone from?
I ordered it through Verizon.
Verizon, okay. So the time frame we were talking about, January 2021 to March 2021, those images and GIFs were on your phone?
No.
No. When did you get rid of them? Exactly.
All.
Okay.
I got rid of all right away.
Okay. And when do you mean right away?
I
I just need to know because I want to make sure that the National Center isn't reporting something that it wasn't true.
Right.
For one, and just to find a time frame of when you had those images.
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
And I couldn't even tell you if it was child.
Okay.
I couldn't. Well,
Okay.
Oh, never mind. Apparently, Robert's new plan is to say that he downloaded a random folder of what he believed was normal pornography. He didn't look at it beforehand, for some reason. He just
Right.
decided that what his new
course.
phone really needed was some pictures and GIFs of sexual images. I don't
Right.
necessarily follow that line of thinking, but that's just me. It
Of
was only
course.
after he downloaded it to his phone that he realized that some of the images may be illegal material. Although he isn't
What?
entirely sure of that. He
How'd
just
that get
deleted it
there?
and then backed it up afterwards because he no longer wanted it. So
Yes.
he accidentally downloaded the images,
Of
never
course.
realized what they were, and so he's not
Right.
necessarily at fault. It's an interesting defense,
And
so
then I
let's see
downloaded
how
it
that
again.
holds.
So here's the other question I have.
Full proof.
When I did that search warrant to Synchronos, which is the backup service for Verizon,
He's free to go.
they didn't report any adult with it.
yeah.
It's all child. Is it what you're interested in?
No.
Okay. So
I'm
when
sure.
you've never to child. Okay.
Well, that fell apart rather quickly. Robert's reaction to this situation is almost comical, because he's being incredibly honest with his responses, even though that doesn't benefit him. When the interviewer tells him that they looked at the backup and there weren't any images of adults, Robert immediately agrees with him. He doesn't try to stand firm in his previous statement or try to provide an alternative
like a
version
chair,
of events. He just agrees with the officer, even though that completely destroys what he just said and his credibility. He lies directly to the officer's face, then immediately admits to a lie, which is fairly silly to watch.
Like a fucking toddler. Look at him scoping around in his eyes, just figuring out what he's gonna do.
So when you were going out and just looking for, how'd you go looking for it?
Just on the internet.
Okay.
So how'd this happen? Well, I was trying to get this. Yeah, but we didn't find any of that with this. Oh, okay.
So you'd get it on the internet just on your phone, just on your phone, no other devices.
Right.
That's all I really have.
You don't have any computers or anything at the house, or?
No, if I do, it doesn't work. I mean, you guys can go through my house.
Yeah, they're gonna. I mean, we have to. It's part of this, the search warrant.
I'm of the belief that Robert is only now thinking about the question that the officer just asked, which he already answered, and is realizing now that he lied. He's under the impression that this is Robert's thinking face, which is similar to a child's face when you ask them a question. You will see him thinking a few more times throughout this interview, so pay attention to that.
Is your work phone password protected?
Yes.
Well, what's the work phone?
The same password.
Same password, same password.
Genius. Yes, dude. Same password for everything. Let's go.
I noticed you drove up in a vehicle.
Yes.
And that's your work vehicle. Is there any electronic items in there? No other cell phones or anything? Okay, I'm gonna look.
Go ahead.
Okay, and the sheriff's department's giving me permission to look. So just want to make sure that there's nothing for that. That's fine. Is there, when we get to your, just in the side thing about at your house and the search warrant?
My hockey team start playing yet? Or is that in 30 minutes?
Okay.
Yes, I have the combination.
Okay, I was gonna say, we don't.
You guys can go through anything you want. You're not gonna find anything.
So what's the combos for this?
33, 11, 33.
I'm sure.
So same thing. Is it just one save or?
It's just one save.
They're not gonna find anything, guys.
It's located.
Even though they already
down
did.
The hallway to the back door, and it drops down into the shop.
Okay.
It's
So it's in the shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna find nothing, even though you're questioning me because you found something. Nothing's there.
Yeah, we didn't want to break we didn't want to break your safes. We didn't want to break your doors.
You guys can go through anything you want to go through.
Okay. Angelo Noda.
This hot honey rub that Wingstop does is fucking good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Excuse me. This guy's an idiot, LOL.
So just on the internet, was there any specific other sites that you went to that just late at night, going through your phone, looking for that type of deal?
Yeah. I did get viruses, so I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sure. That virus that makes me download gigs of child porn.
And you don't remember
Classic.
this time period you were doing it? Was it before 2021?
Whoops.
Was it after 2020?
Everybody knows that one.
Did you ever see those images that of children?
I did see them when I got onto Cloud. Or
You're
whatever
so
it is.
dumb.
Yeah.
Not Cloud. whatever the varieties and thing is, and I erased them.
Okay.
Erased them. I said you can go through whatever.
God, he's so fucking smart. Damn!
Earlier, he was adamant that he didn't see any images that he was able to explicitly identify as featuring children. He was downloading porn, sure. We all are. Sometimes at 100 megabits per second. Sometimes even higher. And with that brings us to our next sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. But that would be one hell of a segue, am I right? Okay, he was downloading porn, sure. But that's all legal, as far as he was aware.
Wait. Did I just get double baited? That was, dude, I love this guy.
He has, and he removed them right away. However, as an officer of the law, he knows that he should have reported those images.
Funny.
Had he just stumbled upon them the way that he claims, he would have tried to remove those images from the website, or at least report the site itself and contact the proper authorities. There would have been an easy-to-follow paper trail of him doing the right thing, but instead, he tried to delete any evidence he had seen those images, and is only talking about them now because he unknowingly backed up over 100 images of children from his phone.
Oops. Silly old me leaving a paper trail.
And then nothing else after that? Okay.
That damn old virus.
So, is there any time that you're alone with your niece?
No.
And what's your niece's name?
She's not even my niece. It's a buddy.
Oh, I thought it was your brother.
No.
Okay.
No.
Everyone thought that he was your brother.
No.
I was kind of wondering because he has a different last name. Alred.
Well, nobody's in danger of anything.
Okay.
This is an untrue statement, though it is correct that there is technically no evidence that Robert has sexually abused any children in real life. Predators are unlikely to stop at just illegal pornography and self-completion. These particular kinds of paraphilias have been shown to escalate, meaning that over time, pornography would no longer be enough for the predator. Though Robert likely genuinely believes that he is a safe person to have around children, that is far, far from the truth.
Oh, I'm sure he finds...
I mean, I understand, because I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, because his name's Andrew, right?
Right.
Andrew.
Mm-hmm.
You've never been alone with his daughter?
No.
Okay.
No.
And the reason we ask that is because there's
I understand.
pictures on social media of you guys together with the with her.
Yeah.
And you know her name?
I haven't been thinking like any subs, and I feel like shit all of a sudden. Bella, thank you for the 46. Oreo, thank you for the Prime sub. Welcome. W's for that. Sherry, thank you for the 3. Fruity, thank you for the 28. Anaphylaxis subbed for the first time for 6 months straight. Thank you for that investment. Goblin with the 17-month sub. That's a fart. Eloquent with the 11 months. Movement with the 27. Excuse me. Juniper with the 4. PB Jammy with the 5. Kaiju Milk with the 49. Bashful with the 22. Paraclips with the 8. Luna with the 8. Cool Dude Rick with the 19. Vitriolic with the 46. Boo with the 4. BJs with the 3. Luke Soakson with the 11. Noki Wizard with the 3. Furman with the 48. Hopefully I didn't miss somebody. Celine C. SARS with the tier 1 sub. Welcome. Thank you, Smile. Welcome. Nova, thank you for the 34.
Oh, shit.
Crazy side note, by the way. If you guys remember the last like pedophile caught video we watched where like that dude gets caught with his parents present, like within his shirt had Dick the birthday boy on it or something. I had like people mad in my comments because I was vehemently calling him a pedophile because he had Lolly on his phone. Because it is, by the way. Just to make that clear, that's absolutely child porn. You're a fucking freak. Now they're, probably like filtered comments, whatever, but a lot of that got like flagged and not even posted because people, I don't even think I can find them anymore because I know flagged comments get removed eventually from the filter. So it was kind of funny. I just looked at it one day and I was like, I wonder what my health comments are. And somebody was just like, kill yourself. And I was like, what? No, they're gone. They go away after like 2 months or something, but it was, yeah. Something crazy for sure.
But never alone.
No.
Okay. Where does he live? Does he live? Someone says he lives.
Salmon.
Salmon? Okay. Because we had a little conflicting addresses. One where it showed he lived on Carolina with you, or
No,
and then
never.
And then okay, yeah, there was a conflicting address.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to check YouTube comments. That being said, most of the time it actually is for me, because most of you are really nice people. This guy's texting with one finger. If this ain't the most fucked up shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, just if you want to take him these, you got it. I'd send him the pins.
What a nut job. Hello, I am the cop. I'm investigating a guy right now. Hello, Al. What you doing?
And you understand why we did the way we did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy way to text somebody.
Careful. I mean, you understand this better than most anybody else that I've ever had to interview or do anything here. So.
Oh, where'd the other cop go? We're outside.
So what you saw, you
We're
erased
out the
it.
front talking to people.
Never had any interest in it. You just got it when you went looking for other adult.
You didn't say no.
So were you just looking at it, and then you weren't? Were you saving any of the feed that when you saw it, or?
I was probably piss poor drunk.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
Of course. Duh. You should have said that, bro. Let's get him out of here.
Okay. So, just to let you know a little bit about what's going to happen with the phones. We have
A
forensic
freaking
people.
We'll
doy.
take it down.
They can see, well, they'll see everything, even stuff that you think you may have deleted.
Right.
And this is just, I'm just giving you your opportunity to become up front about anything else that may be, that you're not telling us here, that you may
You
want
pulled
to
the ultimate move.
say different now than knowing that there are going to be full forensic exams done on this.
Right.
If there's anything that you need to change now,
No,
or tell me different now.
I told you I downloaded just, and
Okay,
once
Don't
I
even admit
realized that some things were bad, I erased it right away.
okay.
And then it got backed up on the cloud. Golly gee, what a weird
Can't deny
coincidence.
that.
Yeah, you literally can't.
So what is going to happen? We're going to wait for the
Is this
exams
fucker eating cheese
to be
balls
done.
again? No, I'm eating
Okay.
Wingstop.
I have nothing to do with what's going to happen with the sheriff's
Their
department.
fries are so good, bro.
But for now, currently right now, we're not arresting you
Right.
unless either because he's going to start the exam right now on these phones.
Okay.
If he finds anything on these phones, like I said, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know, I find any child or anything like that you will
Never
we
had
will
Wingstop?
arrest you.
Well, I know.
You should fix that,
Okay.
bro. It's good shit.
All right.
And like I said, everything that I've downloaded, whether would it be not this or that, and I've seen it, I erase it.
Okay.
It's like,
Okay, and like I said, that's why I wanted to get your side and to just be like, well, hey,
Yeah.
he's
You know, I just accidentally downloaded 140 plus files of child porn because of the virus, guys. Whoops. Anyway, I'm going to back it up on my phone's cloud after I swiftly delete it. Oops. Because of the virus. And I was drunk. I was downloading regular porn. And then all of a sudden, none of that was saved. And it was just the child ones. Somehow all of that never got logged as saved or downloaded. Crazy. I know. It's crazy, man. I don't know how that happened. That's crazy. I know. We're both in this situation.
I wanted to hear your understanding of it. And generally that's what we do is we don't automatically go in blind going, okay, let's get this guy. None of the search warrants.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have your name, but they don't say where you work. Okay. I left that out purposely.
I appreciate that.
Right.
I don't know if anybody in the courthouse knows you or anything, but they will
They're
be
gonna.
filed.
Yeah.
They're gonna know.
After today.
Okay.
Okay, so just let you know.
No, I know.
But they do have your name. They don't have your date of birth
Right.
or anything like that in them.
I appreciate that. And
my
like I said,
weed flavor.
you guys
I got original hot, and then they had this new thing I haven't seen. It was like a hot honey dry rub. God damn, was that good. I don't know how long they've had that. I haven't had Wingstop in a hot minute. I'm getting that the next time I order. That shit was fucking good. Damn.
you can go through my house. There's nothing.
That's what they're getting ready to do now. So we just wanted to wait, talk to you, get your key, just so we weren't breaking down doors. Because especially if no one's home, we have a search warrant, we're going to give a bit of time, we're going to break down the door. And we're not.
Lemon pepper?
Just didn't want to do that to you. And then,
I'm white. Lemon pepper, spicy, bro.
You've been very upfront. You've given me pins and you gave us safe numbers, so we didn't have to destroy your safes.
I don't have nothing to hide.
Okay.
I really don't.
Okay. Which was pretty much everybody that knew you, that I talked to. You said this is probably how it would go. That you'd probably be just this is being this. Yeah.
Well, I said anything that was there that I seen after, I would just erase it.
And you can't tell me exactly.
I don't.
When that occurred. I mean, generally you could place it around an event.
Yeah.
Was it like Christmas of 2020, Thanksgiving?
I can't.
So this is a particularly bad sign, because put yourself in his shoes. If you ever accidentally happened upon illegal material online, even if you were drunk, chances are you would remember that. It would be sobering, and you would do your best to avoid that website that you found it on, because you would never want to come across that material again. But not Strand. Sure, he works with law enforcement and is well aware of how illegal those images are. He knows how to report them and the site, and make sure that those images are.
It's almost like he's a mandated reporter.
Removed, but instead he downloaded them, and this event was so normalized for him he doesn't remember anything about it. That would indicate that this was not a one-time thing.
Okay. Was it 2021? Was it 2020? Was it?
So I got a bad problem sometimes. I drink a little too much.
Yeah.
And once I do that, I kind of just go off, and I don't realize a lot of things till the next day.
Okay.
And it's just like.
Okay. You think this was during one of those times?
Oh, yeah. Because like I said, as soon as I seen it, I'll erase it.
Think about what he just said here, and put yourself in his shoes. One night you get blackout drunk. This is a common occurrence for you, but when you wake up the next day, you have explicit illegal images of children being abused on your phone. There's over 100 photos that you have willingly and purposefully downloaded. How would you
I usually
feel?
wake up with a
Probably pretty
hangover, but
horrified.
you do you, man.
Question if you had downloaded those images or if someone had stolen your phone. You'd be so repulsed by what you saw that you would probably get sick. Let's say maybe you're a police officer. you would go through your phone's history and see the website you downloaded the images from, and contact the proper authorities.
Right.
But not Mr. Strand here. He woke up after a night of drinking to hundreds of images and GIFs of children being abused, and moved on like nothing had happened, like it was something that just happens when he drinks.
Okay. All right.
Like,
it's just the thing that happens, guys.
You might see stuff that's been erased on there, but...
Okay. And at least with...
But
if we find stuff that's been deleted,
there's nothing on there.
That's going to give us a time frame, at least, of when that. Because
I'm only a pedophile when I'm drunk, guys. It's different.
Date, and a time. That's been when that was.
Except I delete it right after.
Also show a date and a time when that was uploaded. So, or when it's downloaded from whatever site you're looking at, and download.
Not smart stuff for me to be saying out loud. I'm gonna get clipped out of context. It's fine.
You got anything?
No, sir.
You guys are gonna have to hold the line, bro. Except it's probably gonna be you guys doing
this interview at 9:37. Okay, and thank you for definitely speaking with us. And again, I'm going to turn you over to. I think they're going to have
certainly saying things.
Probably speak with you. Your chain. As I understand it, they're not.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who think being drunk justifies anything.
So how does that work?
Crazy.
What's that?
So let's say,
hypothetically, maybe.
I said I didn't deny that they were there when I seen them.
Yes, sir.
Let's say hypothetically, like I did do it on purpose. Like, what would happen now? If that's the case.
Obviously erased.
Yes, sir.
How does that work?
We're going to take it. So this is how it'll work.
Oh, we're leaving again.
I mean,
the camera's gone.
We could say that
the second camera left. We're gone.
You did do it, or you did have it on your phone.
Yeah.
Well, so let's say
hypothetically, of course.
Right.
The date is, let's say, just throwing out a date. It's not necessarily the date. Let's say it's January, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, just hypothetically speaking.
Erased a few days later. Oh, shoot, it's on there. No other downloads after that?
Oh, I'm sure.
I have to believe your story.
Yeah.
Because it matches to what you're telling me.
Yeah.
That matches. So we'll take your forensics and compare it to what you're saying here.
Surely they don't have data
what
to
you're telling me
know.
isn't the truth.
No.
There's no way for me to do that because I wasn't there at your.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they could access his phone and figure out how many times he opened specific images and like all sorts of stuff like that? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Your house, I didn't see that to go on. And then so if it's this one snapshot deal, and then there's an erase right after, like right after.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'll go forward to my prosecutors and be like, this is what he told me. This is what the forensic told me.
Yeah, I'm sure. Right after.
It confirms his story.
Right.
It confirms what he told me. Probably nothing happens. Because I have to believe what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Now we're also going to look at, was there adult mixed in with this child? If then that also confirms your story. Okay, it got mixed in with the rest of it.
Yeah.
I was drunk, didn't know what it is. Okay, and it may have got in there. Okay, we're going to look at the totality of everything, compare it to this interview, what you told me today,
and commit
and then that's
the most heinous of felonies, guys.
Yeah, I do have a problem. I get drunk a lot.
Okay, and I understand that.
Yep, that's what we're talking about. Yep, that's the problem we're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
In the eyes of the law,
It doesn't
being inebriated isn't a valid.
No, I know.
I would say that getting drunk a lot is the least of his issues, because there's a difference between a person drinking a lot, blacking out every night, pissing his pants, and being a general nuisance. That kind of person has a problem, and clearly does not value themselves enough to simply treat themselves with kindness. But that's their own prerogative. As long as they aren't hurting anyone else, that's entirely on them. But if you're drinking so much that you're routinely downloading hundreds of images of children being abused, I wouldn't say that you have a drinking problem. I would say that you're using the cover of being drunk to repeatedly engage with illegal material because you think that will somehow invalidate the action. That this is something you probably likely fantasize about while being sober and want some kind of plausible deniability if you were ever caught. Being drunk is not the same as being a pedophile, obviously. The original upload has 16 more minutes to it, but as we had little commentary to add, we will simply encourage you to go watch the original video. On September 8th, 2025, the New Mexico Department of Justice would put out a press release stating that Robert was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading no contest to charges of possession of child sexual exploitation material and 3 counts of manufacturing child sexual exploitation material.
What?
3 counts of manufacturing are exceptionally important because it indicates that he was making the material as well, making his comment about not being a danger to anyone provably false. So, if you've made it to this portion of the video, thank you for watching. If there's a case you would like us to cover or a story you want to bring more attention to, let me know by emailing me at dreading.official@gmail.com.
Gross. Yikers. What a bonehead. What a bonehead. What a loser. I hope he gets beaten senseless in prison. And he probably will, because he was very publicly announced going to jail for such. Like I said, prisoners hate nothing more than a pedophile on their block. So I hope he's had the worst time